Perfect Random likes to keep some things vague when it comes to item descriptions in Sulfur. So much so that some stuff like Poison Blood really doesn't even have a description, but to be fair, it does what the name implies. The homie Dog, the Jack Dog, asked if I could go over some of the special attributes in the game, stuff that you don't really get any information on. Sounded like a fun challenge that I couldn't pass up, and I want to do whatever I can to help. I take your guys' requests very seriously. So I won't be going over any of the attributes that you would understand just by reading it, the self-explanatory ones like healing, movement speed, or resistance to elements, stuff like that you don't need me to go over with you. But if you would like more insight on it, there's a bunch of lovely people that like to visit the comment section. I am one of them. If you've got more questions about different attributes that I don't cover, feel free to ask there. I'll help you out. Someone will, I promise. Not supposed to be making promises. Nobody should be making any promises. I do recommend if you find an item that you might not understand, just to try it out, because some of them do have really unique effects that I might kind of be spoiling with this video. I'm not sure if Mr. Beast would approve of this, but if you don't want spoilers, just leave. Just get out. Your guns in Sulfur are very important. One of the first things you might come across is weapon weight. There's a lot of variables at play here, and one of them is the weight of your weapon, and if it's heavier, you're not going to be able to move around as much. You could wear stuff from the ballistic armor set, or even drink a sports drink to counter some of that weapon weight penalty, or just use the Catacoil Rapid X all the time, and then you can enjoy the fruits of the no recoil as well, because energy weapons don't get recoil. Doesn't mention that anywhere either. Just recently, Charisma was enabled again. It had been deactivated since basically the beginning of early access. Charisma, plus 20 Riz. With Riz, you get a discount buying items from vendors. It does cap out at a 25% discount though. And yeah, the crown will give you a lot of charisma, but might I suggest just selling it for a whole lot of money, like 7,500 Sulf coin? I think that might be the better play here. Luck in Sulfur is a long debated topic that a lot of people probably clicked on this video to see if I have any idea of exactly what luck is. I've tried to ask the devs myself personally multiple times, and every time I get the vaguest of answers. I'm talking in person on a call. Could you guys explain exactly what luck does?
Good question. I actually don't know what it does.
To sum it up, they don't know if it's activated right now, which is granted a very strange response to the question. But I think there's a good chance it is because of stuff like loaded die, which re-rolls what you get out of a chest. I have a hard time believing they would add another item that probably plays directly into luck if luck wasn't working. What luck does is also hotly debated because some people think it increases the amount of loot you find, whereas others think it increases the rarity of the loot. Truth be told, I can't really see a difference in luck. RNG plays a huge role in this game. We don't know what percentages are being increased or decreased when we have luck with us. Maybe it'll just become a tradition. Every time I have a conversation with the devs, I'll ask them, hey, is luck working yet? And also, what does it do? Did you guys figure that one out yet? Because I want to know.
We're still at the stage of we don't really know. Because I like
Sulfur isn't the only game that has Coyote Time, but it is the only one that advertises it that I could think of. I can't think of another game that tells you how much Coyote Time you have. In gaming, Coyote Time is when you step off a ledge, how long you're walking on air before you start to fall, essentially. It's a play on some dinosaur cartoons, Acme, Wile E. Coyote, that kind of stuff, when he would I think one of them would run off of a ledge and keep running. I don't know. That's too old for me. Drag might not come up a lot, but it is interesting that some things do apply drag to your guns. Essentially, it nerfs the hell out of your range as your bullets get slower the farther they travel. Matrix Oil is a very good representation of drag. Way too much drag. Railgun is another seldom seen attribute, but it is on some of the most powerful enchantments in the game. I'm looking at you, Mr. Holy Fire. What it does is make your gun fire at light warp speed, like Mega Mach speed. It just is a blast. And guns that have Railgun will never have any negative bullet speed effects, so you can slap on all those that you want. You could come across a love jar at some point without ever having seen the charm scroll, so you might be like, what does that mean? I could throw my love at them? My jar of love? I don't know about that one. Hurl the baby gravy, trust me, because it's gonna churn anybody that it hits into your allies. On the other side of the aisle, you might come across a fear scroll. Putting fear into the enemy is kind of like blinding them, but instead they cry and panic about it, like some wusses. Just like the charm scroll, you might come across holy water and be like, removes voodoo, what the heck does that mean? Well, as of right now, we can't have more than one player, but maybe at some point there will be enemies that can do damage damage to you and your buddy at the same time, this would remove that attribute, and that attribute being a link between enemies. You can do the Voodoo scroll to link two enemies together and they share some of the damage. It's probably just a joke that it's on holy water, you know, because you're like cleansing yourself, but I don't know. Corpse explosion is bad. Don't use it. But if you do feel so inclined, it makes dead bodies explode. In my opinion, it doesn't do enough damage to justify dumping some extra lead into those dead bozos. It's obvious that spring coil boots put some extra oomph in every jump, but what exactly does wearing springy shoes mean? It's just the cartoonish sound effect you get when you jump. There's nothing else to it. It's just a little spring in your step. They're real simple. Simple enough for you to craft them if you wanted to with a shoe and a robot septicoil. There's one attribute in this game that when anybody ever gets it, they pray it means what it means so they can get a nice chuckle out of it. That's the blindfolded effect. There's only one item that features the blindfolded attribute, and it's the blindfold. All right, the black screen wasn't on you. That was me. It was part of the gag. The item does it too, all right? I thought it could be a joke on a joke, like a hat on a hat. If we're going to be messing with vision, let's take it to the extreme route and involve a ball gag. Yeah, that's in here. It's Rudolph's nose, and it shines so bright that you're going to get headaches I mean, just playing for 5 minutes like this gives me a headache. It's awful. If you're like me, you didn't come across the ear protectors for a long time, and if you do come across them and you don't have any space, at least drop some stuff and put them on real quick because they're pretty great. They come with the Wearing Ear Pro attribute alongside +1 armor and +30 explosion resistance, which is nothing to scoff at. You know I love me a good gimmick. That is so good. I love that. Oh my god, this game does it all. I love this game. I love the way it muffles the sounds. Stuff like this and all these other special attributes are what makes Sulfur so damn fun and creative and unlike anything else you could be playing right now. It's the little bit of spice they threw in there. You got the sugar, the spice, the chemical X. Don't worry, we can protect you with the used rubber. All right, let me explain, because used rubber is obviously a gag item, unless you're like me, and it's your most treasured and valuable possession. But the description does say gives +0 poison for 60 seconds. It's just another level of the gag. It wasn't even supposed to be edible, and I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Wearing shades might be an obvious one. You put them on, the screen gets a bit darker. Cool, man, that's really neat. But did you know if you pop a Novanian guard's helmet and shoot the light sphere underneath, you can stop the blinding effect if you're wearing these? So, I mean, that's kind of cool. You could also just run past them. That's what I like to do. They're very slow. Ski goggles and diving masks do the exact same thing, even though I don't know if a ski mask would work very well underwater, but in Sulfur it does. Maybe it's hinting that eventually we'll get a winter-themed map. I don't know. I'm just speaking speculative here. Sulfur is a Christmas game. It's weird that we have these and diving goggles both with the same effect of wearing goggles. Maybe this upcoming Christmas, you know, it's not too far away. 10 months, I mean, it's really far away. I want Christmas back. It's equal parts a joke and not a joke when the Earthworm tells you if you eat it, you'll get $5, because, yeah, if you do, you actually do get 5 Sulf coin. That means you should refrain from selling the Earthworm, because then you're just getting 5 Sulf coin and not getting to top your health off a little bit. And you also don't get to eat a worm, which is kind of exciting. While we're here, I'm gonna do a little PSA, because I don't know how many people know this. Probably a lot of people have noticed it, but back in the day when we didn't get that cool table we have when we're cooking, back when it was just us trying to use our crappy brains to memorize all these recipes. You new kids, you got it so easy, man. Oh, what's this? Green glob, let's go. That's awesome. I'm ecstatic. I'm absolutely coming with pride. Don't walk away from that full pizza. Go back to chef mode and slice that sumbitch up. That's how you get the pizza party. And this one, you don't have to do it with dead Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's great. Holding out throwable items is a great option if you don't want to have your melee drawn while sprinting. Just make sure to watch the fuse on that Dynamite and see what happens if it gets all the way to the bottom. That QR code on the Encrypted Hoodie isn't just a joke. If you scan it, it will take you to the Sulfur store, unless you're a filthy American like myself, and then you can't buy anything from the Sulfur store. But I still did manage to get myself on some very exclusive merch that only I have. So that's kind of insane. If you want to see that, it's on the other channel. It's linked right now. Just click that and then save it and you get back to it. I should have mentioned when we were talking about Riz that you've been able to Riz up the Haukland salesman with some fresh dog eyes for a long time now. He's the only NPC that offers a side quest, and if you do it, you get the Haukland membership card, which gives you a 15% discount when shopping with him. Now would be a good time to see if that stacks with the plus 25% discount from Charisma. If I do 2 takes and play both sides, I can make sure to come out on top. It does! It doesn't. There's one other card in this game that you might come across. It's the driver's license, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what that does. I'm just going to tell you to hold on to it. I'm not going to go that far into spoiler territory. You're welcome. I will go 2 spoiler steps backwards, though, because Crypt Keys are really important, and you should hold on to them as well. When you're in a real sandy place, look for some spooky-looking tunnels, I guess. Or, you know, it's like little above-ground entrances. Look for the crypts, man. Just look for you'll see this key is very important. Just save it and use it later on. I combed through, I think, every item in the game to look for special attributes. I may have missed one. If I did, make sure to put in the comments, not to belittle me. You could do that some other way. But to make sure that everyone else gets that information, because that is important to me. If I want you to do anything today, it's to learn something about Sulfur, because that's important in life, to know more about the Swedish shooter game with goblins and ghosts and doodads and gun mechanics that are awesome. You know who else is awesome? The channel members. Perfect segue. That's how much I love them. They love me first. I'm not about to get parasocial here. They have always been awesome, and that's the truth, because they give extra support to my family and I every month. They don't have to do that, but they do it anyways, out of the kindness of their hearts. It keeps their souls on the right track. They won't be ending up in Sulfur. No. They're going right to the pearly gates. Now, I'm not saying if you give me extra money, you're guaranteed a one-way trip into heaven. Technically, I don't even really believe in heaven. I think there's probably like a higher being or something. I like to stay on the agnostic side, but I also don't like to get into religion because I respect everyone's views on stuff. I'm just supposed to thank the members. It's not really supposed to be complicated. Since I overcomplicated that, let's keep the ending of the video simple. If you have any requests for videos like my guy Dog, the Jack Dog, did, make sure to bark them at me and I might just go ahead and make some videos about them. Goodbye.